take a seat. I think it just stems from the fact that we, as people, like Thomas and I and the rest of the cast, we just get along so well in our ordinary lives, and we were able to, meet a little bit before the first movie and kind of create some bonds together, and we went through like a whole boot camp of things before the first movie, and that really set the tone for the rest of the experience. And because we get along so well as a family, I think that just naturally just carries over to the screen, and you really see that. And I really think that's the chemistry is great because it's real, I think.
其实我觉得电影里的这些角色很像我们真实的演员一样，就是我们都是人，我和他们所有的演员，所有的剧组呢，我们在日常的生活里呢，也会有这些我们之间的友情，我们之间的这个忠心，比如说我们开拍之前呢，我们都做了一个集体的一个训练，这在我们之间形成一个非常深厚的一种友情，现在我们像一个大家庭一样，这为我们这个在荧幕上。所饰演的这个角色算是定下了一个基调。
你好，你说你们俩其实已经成为很好的朋友了。那么你们在剧组中有没有就是有一些什么样的娱乐项目？然后会不会集体组团来那个坑导演？
So you said that as a group, as a crew, and as a cast, you really bonded. Were there any funny stories that you can tell us about fun things that happened, especially anything and kind of pranks that you may have played as a group on the director?
I mean, we weren't really a pranky bunch of people. Yeah, there weren't many pranks at all. I mean, our fun stories are normally stories that are probably not that funny to anyone else that's not within the group. Yeah, we weren't ever mean to each other or really jokey. It's really annoying that we weren't, because it means that whenever that question comes up, we don't really have anything interesting to say. But I mean, we had a great time with one another and genuinely enjoyed each other's company. We would just kind of hang out and just have fun together, including us and Wes. Wes was very much part of the group.
其实没有太多坑人的这个倾向呢，我们不会太去欺骗人呢。但是我们一起做一个剧组啊，这所有的演员之间就是非常友好，然后很喜欢一起玩。但是那时候很轻松的一种玩，包括这个威斯波尔的导演是我们成员之一，我们并不把他当做一个外人，我们就是一个大家庭，一起享受，然后一起喜欢拍这戏。 Physical preparations or training that you had to do for the action sequences in the film?
Yes. So we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to shoot, and we did some training with the stunt coordinators. We ran up sand dunes and we went jogging for a couple miles a day and try to get acclimated to the weather and being able to run in the sand because. I don't know about if you guys know Albuquerque. It's pretty high up in terms of sea level. How
It's about a mile high.
It's a mile high.
It ranges from about 5,000 feet up to 8,000 feet in the mountains, which is pretty high.
So yeah, you want to get used to it because you can get altitude sickness,
Lack of oxygen.
Yeah. So we went out and trained together, and yeah, it was hard and it was grueling, but it was fun because you have your friends with you.
我们确实在西墨西哥，我们就拍戏的这个地方阿尔伯库伊特，我们做了很多的这个动作的训练。我们有一个专门的一个教练，然后他会带我们在沙丘里跑步，要跑好几公里。因为那边一是非常缺水，二是缺氧，因为它海拔很高，就是有5000到8000英尺的这个高度，所以我们在那边很容易这个缺氧，很容易就是非常辛苦，然后我们在就是艰苦的同时，也是感到非常的快乐，因为我们可以跟我们的朋友，跟我们这个团就是整个剧组在一起，我们觉得还是很享受的一个挑战。
What do you think the audience who are new to this second Maze Runner, how they can understand this film, since there are so much background information content? Thank you.
What you mean without seeing the first movie?
Yes, right.
We always aim to try and make it friendly to people who haven't seen the first movie. And I think you can just join on the roller coaster ride that is the second movie, that is the Scorch Trials, and not know the full ins and outs of the backstory. It obviously helps. It helps with the whole character development and the whole story as a whole. And so it does. I urge people to definitely see the first movie before seeing the second one. But it's definitely designed so it can be enjoyed separately on its own. But it is one of two. So.
当然，我们希望这个观众可以先了解一些这个第一部电影，就是是从人物的发展、角色的发展或者故事的进展呢，第一部都会提供一些线索呢。但是我们设计第二部呢，是要给那些没有看过第一部的观众也可以充分的享受。所以在鼓励大家先看第一部的同时呢，我们也欢迎就是新观看者可以多多看我们的这个第二部《移动迷宫》。
Now I think Thomas, this definition is it means who are very handsome, very young, and yeah, very charming. So with a young age, do you think like you groups are different from the older generation of actors in the U.S.? Any difference?
Between us and them?
Yeah, the older generation.
Well, first of all, thank you, I guess, for considering us as handsome and charming. But no, we just how can I answer this question? We just, first of all, we're very honored that you think of us like that. But also, it's also an honor to even be compared to the older generation because we're honestly just trying to do our best as actors and try to do our best work possible. And so, if we end up, being great actors in the future, that'll be great.
Yeah, I don't know really. I don't know whether there is a difference. I mean, I grew up. A lot of my work that I've done is with actors of older generations and before, even the one before mine. So I'm more used to that. It's rare, which is actually what was quite nice about working on these movies is I get to work with people my own age. But I would say that there's all sorts of things to be learned from working with older actors who've been doing this, working in this business for so long and picked up so many things. But I mean, there's also so many things to be learned from someone new coming in and just giving it a go for the first time. I mean, that's what's cool about acting is it's just interpretation of characters and people, and experience helps with that, but it's not the be all and end all. So I suppose it's just more of a. You can't categorize a whole generation of anyone really to put them in a pigeonhole and say that we're different. I'm different from Ki-hong, and I'm also different from Brad Pitt, but just as people, not as a generation.
首先非常感谢您这些溢美之词呢，我们其实非常荣幸能够有机会跟这个老前辈做一个比较，对我们来说是非常荣幸的事情呢。我觉得我们能够就是尽我们的全力做好演员呢，就是我们最大的一个这个事业，然后我们希望可以从这个前辈那里学习很多东西。然后他们补充说，其实我觉得我们这个前辈和后辈就不一定是很不一样的。比如说我的所有的前面的作品呢，其实我的搭档大多数都是比我成熟的一些演员，我向他们学习了很多。反而我觉得做《移动迷宫2》的一个很好的一点，就是我可以跟我同龄的一些演员合作。那从那个学习和借鉴演绎的方面呢，我认为比你年纪大的和跟你同龄的都有很多可以学习参考的地方呢。我们都是演员呢，我们的无论我们年龄多大呢，我们的任务是要解读一个人或者一个角色，然后在这个过程中经验是很重要的，但是它并不是一切。 所以我觉得每一个演员都不一样，我跟 Miho 不一样，我跟布莱德皮特不一样，我们都是我们自己的演员。
你有没有自己偶像的演员，或者是你自己想要学习的目标？谢谢。
I have a question for Thomas. Since your early work with Ashley and others, up until now, you're kind of on the you're leading some of these huge commercial action flicks. Over that course of your progress in your career, how has your relationship to acting changed, and who have been some role models, some other actors that you've looked up to along the way?
I suppose when I first started, I was 10, and as a 10-year-old, all I really wanted to do was have fun, and didn't really take life very seriously, which is completely the right thing to do. And I got into acting because I just thought it would be fun. And my experiences of other people doing it looked like it was just a really fun and interesting thing to do. I would do that at home. I would sit and I would play with my toys, and I would pretend to be other characters, and I would put on different voices, and I would make up whole stories in my head and act it all out. And so to me that was just doing that. So I would just play on set. I was very lucky that I got a job at all and got the opportunity to even step onto a film set and get the opportunity to play. And I suppose as I've got older and started to think more about what I want to do as a career and a job and just experiencing life, that I figured out that it's something that I love to do. I love acting. I love all the people involved. I love film sets in general. I love cameras. I love movies and lighting and the amount of people that are involved to make one story come to life on a screen. I just think it's kind of magical. And getting to work and meet with so many different people I love. And so those are all things that you actually just pick up on and grow as an actor and as a professional and as a person. And yeah, I'm 25 now, so I've been doing it for 15-ish years. Just, a fairly long time. I still feel I'm amateurish in some ways, and I've got a lot to learn and pick up on, but that's something that excites me.
其实我从10岁开始演戏，在那个时候呢，其实我把它当做一种纯粹的一种玩乐，就是觉得好玩，我没有就是太严肃的看待这个。毕竟我小时候在家里也会自己演戏，自己有一些口腔，然后拿一些小玩具编一个故事来，我只是觉得好玩。然后我非常幸运，在10岁的时候有机会把它当做一个工作。那一直到现在，就是15年后的我今天。作为一个职业生涯，作为我的工作呢，我是非常热爱做演员，非常热爱拍电影的方方面面，无论是这个摄影团队，或是灯光组，或是整个片场，我都是觉得非常有一种莫名其妙的感觉，就是有那么多人这个协力去把一个故事能够在荧幕上把它激活起来。我觉得是一个非常魔幻的一种东西呢，所以无论是作为一个演员或者一个专业人士呢，我都是非常热爱这个工作，然后虽然我已经做了15年了，但是我还有很多要学习要发展的地方。
对，刚才还有个小问题，就是 Thomas 有没有在表演上面的自己的偶像以及自己想要学习的目标？
And are there any models or goals that you've had along the way?
Not really. No, I've never had like particular role models really. I've always, like I said, just enjoyed working with people and I suppose no, not really. No, I mean I respect people hugely that are in the same profession as I am. And there's so many people who I think do a great job and I love as actors, but there is also some fantastic prop masters out there that I get just as big a rush of meeting and DOPs, and for me the respect is kind of across the board. So I kind of just get up and do my thing, and I think just naturally pick up and learn along the way. I just find it very hard to specify exactly who I learned a certain thing off of, when I learned it, and what it even was that I learned. It's just about taking everything in as a whole and growing from it naturally. That's how I kind of do it.
我并不能说有一个什么特别的偶像，其实我跟很多人喜欢就是搭档和合作，我非常尊重我很多这个同业，很多这个演员，但是同时也很喜欢很欣赏一些像搞道具的这个大师或者摄影的大师，我只能我行我素，然后在演戏的过程中，这个多多吸取一些教训。不是说能够想到某一个人教育了我什么特别的东西，我可能就是把所有的一切都要这个吸取它的精髓，然后就是慢慢的在我成长的过程中多多尊重和向别人学习。
我爱你们。谢谢。That's it. That's all I can say in Chinese.
All right, Thomas.
I've been practicing my Chinese and I can't remember any of it.
We'd like to try it now. But
No,
you
no, I
keep
can't
teaching
remember
it. You can't remember it.
No, I've been
Okay.
practicing and I can't remember.
So, in English?
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's just really exciting to be here and get to bring our film here and open it up for all the Chinese market to see it. It's very exciting. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.